Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So I'm currently in Warsaw, Poland, here for about 7 full days. We're gonna get into this city and explore what's happening. Behind me is the Copernicus monument. We'll check that out, and there's a gorgeous church just about 100 meters away. And then we'll see what else we can get into around this very large European city. Looks amazing under first impressions, so we'll get at it. So behind me across the street is the Church of the Holy Cross. In 2002, the church was elevated by Pope John Paul II to Basilica Minor. Interestingly enough, inside is the remains of Chopin. So if you want to see that, that's cool. The church is absolutely stunning. Of course, you can't visit when service is on, as to be expected, but definitely take a walk through. It's very, very nice. So the church we just got out of is on a major road here in Warsaw. It's Nowy Swiat. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So one side of it basically has the university, a beautiful church look off, and the Barbican. We will get to that side later. We're gonna head down the other side. It's beautiful. It's lined with cafes, restaurants, all kinds of different shops. There's supposed to be an amazing mosaic at the end with some interesting story. So we're gonna head down. On our way down to Nowy Swiat here, we stopped at Simit House for a little breakfast, kind of a Turkish pastry place. Absolutely phenomenal. So let's head down this road and go find this mosaic. So there's an interesting mosaic here behind me. Apparently, I'll drop some of the information below, but it has to do with a massacre that happened in a club or a bar back in the 60s. I'll find out exactly. It's really hard to see my phone in the sun at the moment, but I'll drop it below. Really interesting. All tile, all done by hand. You can see the lady down here has a gun, and this guy here has a hand grenade in his arm. Or in his hand. So yeah, interesting. I will drop the information below, and the address. It's a little hard to find. It's kind of hidden right about a main roundabout off one of the main streets. Anyways, I'll drop the address. So that mosaic was quite interesting, but it was time for lunch, so we head over to this famous restaurant here in Warsaw. I'm gonna try the pronunciation. Zapiecek, maybe? Anyways, stopped in there, had some amazing ribs. We had a flight of like local fruit liqueurs. We had some savory pierogies and also some dynamite mixed fruit pierogies. Absolutely phenomenal. They have multiple locations throughout Warsaw. Stop in here. It's very, very good. So another day here in Warsaw. So today we're going to take a slow stroll down the famous street. I'll try to pronounce it Nowy Swiat, maybe? I'll leave it below. It's a famous street, all kinds of stuff on it. Presidential Palace, churches, University of Warsaw is on it, all kinds of cafes and restaurants. So we actually got up early today, and I said, hey, we've been taking our time having these slow breakfasts. I said, why don't we just grab something quick? So we went over actually to McDonald's, which we never really do when we travel. Highly recommend checking the one out here in Warsaw. They had some really unique stuff. Blows the McDonald's from back in North America out of the water. We actually tried this cool sandwich, had a cottage cheese with arugula and radish on it, but their cottage cheese over here is not that liquidy, soupy stuff. It's more like a cream cheese. Phenomenal. Have never had anything like it. We also went with the classic sausage McMuffin, but they put a horseradish Dijon mustard on it. Totally a game changer. So if you're looking for something super fast, they're kind of all over the place, and they open at 7 in the morning. That's why we went to it. Yeah, definitely check it out. But there's some fantastic breakfast restaurants in and around Warsaw, which we've been thoroughly enjoying while we've been here. Anyways, we'll get cruising down this street and check some stuff out. So we took a slow stroll down the street here, checking out the University of Warsaw grounds. Absolutely beautiful. Then we passed by the Presidential Palace before stopping for a quick chocolate ganache tart at E. Weedle, a famous chocolate store here in Warsaw, you gotta stop in and check this place out if you are a chocolate lover. Then we proceeded down the street a bit farther to the Academic Church of St. Anne, a Catholic church here, which is absolutely gorgeous. I'll leave you with a few shots here before we go up to the church tower. So we made it up to a viewing terrace right here in the heart of Poland. I will drop the name below. I did not catch it, but it's right beside this gorgeous church here. You have 360-degree look-offs. It's 10 zloty to get in, which is about just over $3 Canadian. Mind you, there's no elevator. It's a spiral staircase all the way up. If you've ever been to the cathedral in Malaga, very similar to that. So if you're not in the best shape, it'll be a hard go up, and there's nowhere really to take a break, but the views are fantastic. Check this out. You can even see the bells up in here, which is really cool. It's going to be super loud if those go off at the moment, but a little windy up here, but it's a beautiful day. And here is the stairs. This is the top. You go down this little bulb here. It's a spiral staircase. I'll get a shot on the way down just to show you how steep it is. I'll try to see how high it is up here, but it's quite high. We're taller. We're above most of the older buildings here. Obviously the new skyscrapers up in that financial district, we're not comparing to those, but yeah, great views. Yeah, so that is the stairwell that I'm in now. Quite steep. Of course there's a railing and a wall inside, so not too bad, but it's straight up with nowhere to rest. So that is the viewing tower behind me. Well worth the 10 zloty price tag to get up, cash only. And there's a tiny little market at the bottom. They have some like souvenirs and stuff like that. But it's right in the heart of kind of the tourist area, so you're definitely going to want to go check that out. Amazing, amazing views. So just down below that street and the viewing tower, there's the Royal Gardens of the Warsaw Castle here. We're gonna take a spin through and check her out. We're kind of in like a little labyrinth area right now, but I'm sure we're gonna get to some cool flowers and stuff. So the grounds are absolutely stunning. Looks like there's a little restaurant up there on that terrace. Think we might grab some lunch up there in a few minutes. By the way, entrance to these gardens completely free. So that's quite nice, and yeah, absolutely beautiful. There's tons of people just playing around, kicking around, relaxing. The scenery is, yeah, it's quite nice. Really genius system here for their tulips. So instead of sinking them in the ground and hauling them out after they're done blooming, they're just all in crates here, which is super genius. So those come and lift them out and then I guess put something else in. So we're just getting out of the upper garden here. Absolutely fabulous place. There is some washrooms or toilets if you're looking for them. They're in the building on the main part of the gardens. Getting a bit hungry, and I think that little restaurant is actually just a cafe, and I'm getting starving here, so we're gonna head back up to the main street and go grab some lunch. All right guys, only a few days left here in Warsaw, so I figured we got to go check out the viewing terrace over at the Palace of Culture and Science. I believe it's 273 meters in the air, and it's only 25 zloty for an adult ticket. There's also family rates and stuff. So we're gonna get up there, check out the sights. I will meet you at the top. All right, so we made it up to the 30th floor of the viewing terrace, 360-degree views. There's tons of space up here, so don't be deterred by the lines downstairs. Look at these epic views. So yeah, once you get up here, there is tons of space. There's not a whole lot of waiting. Even though the line downstairs looked huge, went through in about 5 minutes. And you'll notice once you're up at the look-offs, they have some of the highlights, landmarks and stuff pointed out across the city, so that's really cool. We're actually just staying right across the street at Hotel Metropol, so great location if you're here. Yeah, so if you're over in and around the Palace of Culture and Science, there is much more than just the viewing terrace. There's a theater, of course, there's a gallery, there's a bunch of restaurants and cafes, and there is also a museum of technology, which actually looks really, really cool. I might hit that before I'm out of here in a couple days, but there is a lot going on. It's not just the viewing terrace. There's also like an insectarium or like an insect zoo inside. Apparently they have scorpions, spiders and stuff like that from all over the world. So you might want to check that out, especially if you got some kids with you. But other than that, yeah, it's a great place to come and check out, and well worth it. So I'm taking a stroll through the old town here, and I came across the Barbican, which is part of the defenses of the old walled part, the old town of Warsaw. So this was built to strengthen the defenses of the wall that joined onto the new town, and it was completed in 1548. So we'll have a peek around, and it's quite an extensive system here. We'll go on the other side and see the entrance from the new town into the old town. All right, so now I'm on the outside of the gate as if you were entering into the old town of Warsaw. There's the Barbican behind me, and then the wall stretching all along here. Pretty impressive, actually. Really neat. My suggestion is come down early. We're here not too early, about 9:30 now. We were by here the other day around 12, and there had to be hundreds of people. So if you want to get some clear pictures, probably make this your first stop down in the old town. So having a little stroll around the old town here. Fascinating little place, lots of little side streets and alleys and stuff, full of amber shops, restaurants, cafes. There's some museums down here. There's a Cold War museum that looks quite interesting. Today is Labor Day, so they're setting up some stages and a lot of tents up in the plaza. Nothing's really happening yet. We'll maybe check that out later if it happens while we're down here. The area was destroyed. 85% of it was destroyed back in 1944 by the Germans. Now it is rebuilt, and it is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which is really cool. So a fascinating little place to walk around here. Lots of history. So it's a brand new day here in Warsaw. So later on in the morning, we're gonna head down and check out the University Botanical Gardens up on a rooftop. Looks really cool. But what we did is we started our day at a little restaurant close to the Hotel Metropol, had a beautiful bagel sandwich. Then we went down to the waterfront here on the Vistula River. Absolutely amazing. Lined with some cafes and restaurants and bars and stuff. There's a museum down there, gorgeous park. They have a brand new pedestrian bridge. Highly recommend checking that out. Beautiful views back from the river into Warsaw. Absolutely stunning place. highly recommend coming down and checking this out if you're going to do the botanical gardens. So this morning we took a walk down to the university here in Warsaw, and they have kind of like a botanical gardens. There's a bottom layer, which we're kind of walking around now, and then there's an upper roof part kind of on top of the beautiful library that they have. You can actually peek in apparently once you're up there. So we're gonna go head up and check out that part. I'll leave some shots of the entire place. It's absolutely free to get in. You just walk through the gate, no problems. It's down by the river, so if you're coming down for like something on the promenade there's lots of restaurants. There's also a museum. Definitely stop by and check it out. All right, so we're up on the rooftop garden here down at the university. Quite nice, absolutely free to get in. We'll go check on the other side. It's been closed for renovations, and this is the first day it's back open. So we're here. Looks like they're still up there working on the glass roof, but yeah, we'll have a peek around and check her out. Nice views though, gorgeous views up here. And if I remember correctly, this is all sedums, which when they bloom are absolutely beautiful. So we made it to the other side. You just can't currently use the bridge, but you can walk around. So over on this side, they have a bunch of different shrubs. There was some sedums, there's some pine, looks like maybe purple leaf sand cherry, and I think this is a smoke bush, and that's a purple leaf sand cherry, I believe. So they got a nice little look off kind of in one of the far corners of the garden. I'm assuming that's part of the university over there. There's like an art museum behind these trees, and then you can see right down here, that's the promenade. It's actually quite nice and goes for quite a ways. And then yeah, you can see it continuing on. They have a brand new bridge over there. Absolutely gorgeous views from over there. So this is quite nice. Quite enjoy this little look off. So some of it's still closed, but it's mostly shrubs and bushes. So if you're staying kind of far away from this, I wouldn't go out of my way to come down here. But if you're on your way down to like the river promenade or anything, there's a museum and stuff down this way, then pop in. It's kind of a nice little place to walk around, I guess. But I would not go out of my way to make my way down here from like way up in the center. So after getting out of the botanical gardens, we had a slow walk back towards the hotel Metropol, and we had a beautiful lunch right in the bottom at the hotel restaurant. I had a gorgeous schnitzel, and we also had some phenomenal pierogies. The pierogies here in Poland are out of this world. All right, so since it's Labor Day, we decided to cruise through this park, and they have the monument or the tomb of the unknown soldier. Fantastic, what a beautiful monument. They have a couple soldiers there standing on guard. Absolutely amazing. One of the best that I've seen actually anywhere in the world. Really, really fantastic monument. So interestingly enough, as we're walking around town, there is tons of demonstrations and stuff. Really interesting to see all kinds of people, like literally all over the city.
In the land of Israel, where Jews have been living for...
Alright guys, so final day here in Warsaw. It's been a pretty good trip. The city is absolutely huge. We did obviously not get to see everything. Probably have to come back on a future trip or two to see it all. There is so much here to do. One little thing, if you're staying in the center where I was by the Palace of Culture and Science, there's an amazing mall just off to the side of it. It's 4 floors. It's got a whole bunch of sit-down restaurants and of course a ton of fast food if you're looking for something quick. So anyways, it's been a great trip here to Warsaw. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.